Team member Aaron Glenn, private personal consultant, also advocate for mental health awareness as well. To the vibes out into the universe. By doing so, I read my daily book of inspiration. Some inspiration for every day of the year, inspired by Sarah Young, a book called Jesus Calling, Enjoying Peace in His Presence. Today is September the 12th, 2025, and this is today's reading for you all. Receive my peace. It is my continual gift to you. That was a powerful statement, a powerful way to start this off. Receive my peace. It is my enjoying peace in His presence. This is how I share enjoying peace in God's presence with you all. Right now, I'm in the presence of my Creator, just getting to know His mindset or her mindset, whoever he or she may be. I'm not sure if the Creator of all is a woman or a man, but I know it's a three Trinity fold, and Jesus Christ or Yahshua, or however y'all want to call it, is a part of that Trinity. This earth and the flesh, the one that died for my sins and your sins, whether you believe it or not, or you agree or not. This is my lifestyle. This is true to me. Go through things like everybody else. I'm only human. I'm going to experience human emotions. I'm going to experience human problems. Lack of finances, lack of resources, lack of trust, and all type of things. In the state of black, that happens. The state of prosperity can be a state of not prosperity. I'm just saying an abundance of situations that's not too nicely to resolve or comfortable to be in. But nevertheless, it's about mindset. That's why I advocate for mental health awareness. A lot of people have a very weak mind, and that's just my opinion. But at the end of the day, that's something that we all can work on. It's a skill set that we all can achieve and obtain if desired to do so. With that comes emotional intelligence. A lot of things plays on our minds from the way. And if we're not able to control how we feel about things, it'll tempt us to cause to act on those feelings. Mr. Charlie Kirk, rest in peace. I didn't know the guy that well, but he brought to my attention. His impact was pretty powerful just to see 222. That ain't got nothing to do with this. I just like to see those numbers. Anyway, speaking your truth, his truth isn't my truth. My truth isn't his truth. But that doesn't mean that we can't have a simple conversation. Mental health awareness is very crucial. You say things people don't like and they're ready to kill you. And they do and will. A lot of people will befriend you just for that purpose. A lot of people are really not your friends. They tolerate you until they have a moment to show you how they really feel. And it is what it is. This world is a deceptive place. To deceive people is what's practiced on a daily basis. And it's all right. It's okay because we never talk about morals and or consequences. This world is just pushing rags to rich, not the mindset that will be an eternal lifestyle. This world is constantly battling your mind because this is a temporary state. Of course, we want to enjoy this lifetime, this experience. Of course, we all do. We all desire to have pleasures in this world. But at the end of the day, when you get too wrapped up in pleasing the body, the ego, and chasing out the pleasures of this world, when this world has come to an end and it's time to be responsible as far as your spirit, what have you been feeding your spirit? What have you been leading? Are you stuck in this flesh of corrupt and pleasure? You will be used the same way in the spiritual world for all eternity. The devil plays tricks on our minds to have us think that these things should be prioritized, that these things are important, but they're not. We all survive off our daily bread, food, shelter, and water. Everything else is extra. And that extra is what keeps us entertained. How to compete with somebody, not to get educated so that you can have a new skill, trait, or talent, but to have a source of income so that you can spend it to say that you shouldn't want or have nice things. But that shouldn't be your main focus and goal in life. Your life goal should be to get to know who you are A lot of people die so soon and sudden, not even knowing who they are, and their life is cut short. And now they're in the spiritual world, unprepared for all of these spiritual things, and stuck in this world, in this realm, haunting people, causing more chaos because they're upset that they didn't spend time actually feeding their flesh the right way. So now their spirit is empty and drained, and it's upset and it's miserable, just like a lot of me, just like a spirit of misery. Love to be around other people and they grip your spirit and keep it rooted in your soul for you to be a miserable person, to focus on all the misery of the world, so forth and so on. Wherever the mind goes, the attention goes, and the energy goes as well. You focus on those things enough, you will continuously create that reality for you. But I just wanted to let you know that it is possible to have peace in this chaotic world. The best way to receive this gift is to sit quietly in my presence. Trust in me in every area. Let's accomplish far more than you can imagine. We think being busy is having motion. Motion is living life. Anything that's alive is constantly moving, constantly in motion. Sometimes you have to slow that down because you'll be moving so fast, not in the direction that you truly desire, because of the things that plays tricks on our minds, having us look this way, look that way. I really love this movie called Biker Boys because in it he was tunnel vision like Kodak Black song. Yeah, but anyway, he was racing the younger guy, his stepson or whatever, at the end of the movie. If you want to see what I'm talking about, go to Biker Boys, skip all the way to the end. And then this was another scene as well as far as being humble. I played chess a lot. I learned from my father. But with that, I learned how to be calculate, how to be strategic, how to see far in advance. You know, it was a few things within this game. And one thing overall, I learned the power of the king. I can dress as a pawn in my power, but I underestimate my reach. And I like to do that sometimes, you know, let people think that they want to think. I don't reveal all of my skills, talents, or resources because of the simple fact it's a strategic way to get through life, you know. You don't want to be a target for those who already don't want to see you have anything. And it is what it is. It's protecting your peace and your spirit and also protecting your energy. It's about spending time when you take a moment to step back, you start having a different point of view. You start seeing different little things, subtle little signs of clarity comes to you. So sitting in quietness, taking a moment out of this busy life that we think that we have is totally fine and it's totally necessary from time to time to get there. Uh, try to realize, not realize, but um, I'm trying to basically like, I can't even think of the word, but basically like, you know, you're trying to adjust to these changes in your life, the changes that you must make from time to time, and just trying to settle in with that new reality. I spend a lot of time meditating. That's my time in quietness, and I just uh, allow what's for me to come to me, and allow what's not helping me to let it go. You know, just release the moment, breathing in everything that is meant for me, and breathing out everything on this until it's just a natural process. Breathing in, because air is universal energy. The universe is coming in. The spirit is filling you up with you. Every time you're able to hear that voice inside, that's you guiding you. And if you sit quietly enough from time to time, you can hear where you need to be, how you need to be there, how you can get there. I mean, life isn't a game, but it can be played as such. Just like the saying, you know, we are all a creative character. We continuously evolve and create on our character. And sometimes we have to get of ourselves, which is the ego, and look down on, okay, let me see, what am I doing, how I need to be doing, and in what direction am I headed? Only way that you can find the answers to these questions is silence and peace of mind, you know, time alone with your creator. However, when you spend time praying, that's meditating. It's the same thing. You know, you can put labels and titles on everything, but don't get caught up in that. Just know what you're supposed to know, and that's enough. Just like with Christianity and religion, people like to be nowadays. especially with information they run with, and not sure if this information is accurate or not. Kind of threw me off last year. I started hearing Yahshua or whatever, They, the letter J wasn't invented until whatever, woo, woo, woo. But I'm like, if that's true, then why was Jesus considering himself a Jew? Where did that J word come from? And if there wasn't Jews, what else did he call himself? So it's like, it sounds good, but I'm not going to be with this new age spirituality and all of that stuff, because once you start being confused on who your creator is and what your creator did for you, back up in that stuff, and the enemy will play tricks on you and have you tricked for all of eternity, trick you right into your death date, have you walking around in circles, just leading you to where he wants you to be. And a lot of people fall victim to that, trying to follow the crowd, trying to be accepted. Once you know yourself, you'll find your people. You won't have to be out here following up behind people, chasing after people. You won't feel so inadequate and also so empty, trying to fulfill yourself with people, places, and things. Sure who your creator is, spend time on getting to know, because this world will tell you exactly who their God is. And they'll let you know exactly when you get in trouble that, oh, okay, go have faith, go trust in God. You good now. We led you to the doomsday, and now it's up to you to fight for yourself. A lot of people are miserable, man. They're chasing after this quick success, quick fame, quick notoriety. And at the end of the day, it's just false games. It's frivolous things that come to pass, that comes and goes, actually. That has no real meaning, no real value. Never enough, especially when you're not truly fulfilled. Knowing yourself is real fulfillment. When you really know who you are and what you stand for, you'll be living with passion and purpose. You'll get up and be who you're supposed to be each day. Just like Martin Luther King, you knew he was a leader, a social activist, a political activist. He got up and he did his thing. He was passionate about what he did. He spent time getting to know who he is and what he want to do with his life. The same as Malcolm X and other great people, Gandhi, Mandela. These are just leaders. These are people who have passion and purpose in life, and who stands for something. These people are perfect, or are, I don't know how they live their personal life. Despite the flaws of men and women, Rosa Parks, Martha Stewart, they out here making a difference in the world, adding value to it. So no matter their flaws, I don't take away from that work that they actually did do. And it's inspiring to see people living with passion and purpose. When you trust in me in a given area, you release that problem or person into my care. In you, but also on earth and in heaven. Let me start over, because I kind of like, yeah, my receive my peace. It is my continual gift to you. The best way to receive this gift is to sit quietly in my presence, trusting me in every area of your life. Quietness and trust accomplish far more than you can imagine, not only in you, but also on earth and in heaven. When you trust me in any given area, you release that problem or person into my care. Discipline. So, it's a challenge, right? It can be a difficult discipline, especially when you're trying to focus on things that's going to better yourself. You're going to have thoughts, you're going to have people, you're going to have places that's just interrupting your peaceful moments with Christ. Uh, you might have chaos going on in the world. You might have demonic people who are not aware of how they're being used, or the energies that they're entertaining, confusion and other things. Just like what's the boy name? Old Town Road. You do a lot of demonic stuff. But at the end of the day, when you playing with these demons and you doing all this stuff for a little fame, a little notoriety, you opening yourself to be used by these spirits, and they get a hold of you for eternity. They make sure they keep a grip on you for a good grip, a good lot. Because one day for them is like a few minutes, a few years for us is like one day for them. So they have all the time have you, out here fucked up. Like a lot of people be out there, they lost their mind, and you be looking like, what's wrong with this person? They far gone. They're being used. And They don't have the courage or the strength or the spiritual power to save them. And also, their mind is so lost because they can't see a way out. Once you entertain these things, they become your DNA. The more you do something, that's who you become, you know? A serial killer didn't just wake up one day and, like, I'm going to be out here just picking out victims. They needed to act on those thoughts and it became who they are. It's a part of who they is. It's a DNA. That's how you know these people. That's their MO. Main objective in life is to do these things. That's how people have MOs. That's how you can characterize people because of their actions. If you don't know somebody, you can hear them say a lot of things all day long, but when you see how they move, then you know who they are. You know people by their works. Um, Mindfulness is everything. You know, it's a situation that you don't need to be a part of because now you've been tempted to act out in an unholy way. It's a time for everything, right? I'm not gonna say put yourself in positions to be trying to be right. Sometimes it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be not correct. You know, you don't have to be out here debating with people. You don't have to be out here engaging in all the negativity. You don't have to be out here trying to force nobody to believe your beliefs. You know, you just simply show love and kindness, and if people accept that, fine, cool. You know, if not, then whatever. But do set boundaries. You know, don't let people run over you because you decide to follow Christ. Just like people like they, oh, I know, I thought you was a Christian. Yes, I am, but that don't mean I won't show the devil in me if that's what you really want. You know, I'm not saying that I'm out here to cause destruction, and I give my problems to God as much as He allow. It's like when you go for your dreams, you got to take action. And you got to take action to fight these demons from time to time because we have the authority through Christ. And any demon that comes to me, I have the authority to, get rid of them by fasting, by prayer, or by speaking through Christ, telling Satan, get thee behind me, and that really makes these demons mad. I don't have to cuss you out. I don't have to beat your ass. I don't have to do none of that, but I will, but whatever, right? My emotions and to be such emotional being to where these are things affecting their daily operations, like fuck. People be choose to do what they choose to do. If they want to be used by those spirits, that's totally fine. But at the end of the day, when your life's cut short and it's time for repercussions and you're out here with these same spirits that you're entertaining, they're not to play with you once you're into their realm. It's no joke at all at this point because now you're with the wrong crowd for the rest of eternity. Meaning you're going to be conscious of the things going on, just like nothing. They're conscious of what they're doing, what they have going on. Maybe not in this realm, but wherever they are. It is what it is, right? A lot of people like to say, I had a near death experience. Whether I believe it or not, I don't know. I really don't care either, but it's just an eye opener for those people who thought spirituality isn't real and there are things beyond what we can see. And it's real, it's real battle going on, just like with flesh and blood. They always have these wars going on and all this stuff because people always blood thirsty. That's what it is about. That was the first sin of man. We wasn't supposed to kill for food, but we do. We weren't supposed to kill for game, but we do. They try to say it was about the apple, but at the end of the day, it was flesh and meat. And God didn't create us to live off each other. He created us to live off the land. That's why they keep on doing these things because we're not supposed to be eating the meat anyway, anything with blood. And they like to play it off so much, with these blood sacrifices and eating meat, eating people. It's been going on since the beginning. And the world wants you to be just like them, continuously go against God's word, to think that everything is fine and cool and dandy and tasteful and delightful and obtainable, which it is, but it's not desirable when it comes with certain consequences, just like indulging in gluttony, Thanksgiving. That's what a lot of people like to overindulge in food. Then a couple months later, people are diabetics, high blood pressure, um, they be having blood clots, all type of unhealthy shit from overindulging in this meat that we weren't supposed to eat. It's just crazy, how we go against the grain and we don't really even think about it. We're being impressionable. Young and dumb is just being impressionable. Favorite rappers, actors, they doing all this demonic stuff, and I'm thinking it's cool. I'm not even really thinking too much about it. But years later, being more spiritually protected, I'm starting to really see like what side was their own. They could talk about this, talk about that, but when you're in here promoting demonic things and showing these type of visuals, the signs and symbols, it's no denying. You don't see me on here with horns on my head with different images of different demons. Like for what, right? If I say I'm a Christian and I believe in these things and I act upon this way, but yet and still I'm showing you this stuff. I'm not saying it, but I'm entertaining it. I'm deceiving you. I don't want to put no names out there because some of these people probably passed away and probably didn't. I don't know, but just seeing a lot of actors and rappers do all this weird stuff is like, wow, is this what it takes to be successful? Is this the only way? But it's not. But it's enticing. But it's like, wow, I'm entertaining and stuff. I'm allowing these people to be in my spirit, in my realm. And it was like at that moment, and I realized now, like, when they start doing that weird stuff, I'm gone. I'm out of there. I don't want to be entertaining demonic things, movies, songs, people, places. Like, it is what it is. But this is a very good word for today. Spending time alone with me can be difficult. Be a difficult discipline because it goes against the activity, addiction of this age. You may appear to be doing nothing, but actually you are participating in battles going on within spiritual realms. You are waging war, not with weapons of the world, but with power to demolish strongholds. Live close to me is a sure defense against evil. How powerful. What a powerful word for today. Peace and blessings. I'll be back in a bit. And we're going to go over some New Age spirituality and really, really get into this.